It was a Thursday night in November. Derek was sitting at his kitchen table in Columbus, Ohio. The overhead light was flickering. His laptop was open to his bank account. He stared at the number, $312. He made $90,000 a year. He was not broke. He was not lazy. He worked 50 hours a week. He had a good job. He had a nice car. And somehow, he had $312 left before payday. His hands were cold. He kept rubbing them together. Not because it was cold in the house, because he was scared. This is the story nobody talks about. We talk about poverty. We talk about billionaires. But nobody talks about the silent financial suffocation happening to people making good money. People making $80,000, $90,000, even $110,000, and still feeling completely, totally broke. If this sounds familiar, do not leave. Because what I am about to tell you changed everything for Derek. And it is going to change everything for you too. There is a rule. Warren Buffett has lived by it his whole life. Most people have never heard it put this simply, and I am going to share it with you. But not yet. Because first you need to understand why you feel this way. If you skip this part, the rule will mean nothing to you. Stay with me. Here is something that will make you uncomfortable. Earning more money can actually make you feel poorer, not metaphorically, literally. Scientists call it lifestyle creep. But that phrase is too soft, too polite. What is really happening is a psychological trap. Your brain adjusts to every new income level within 90 days. A raise that felt amazing in January feels totally normal by April. And now your spending has grown to match it, sometimes exceed it. And here is the part nobody says out loud. The $90,000 earner is often more financially stressed than someone making $55,000. Why? Because the $55,000 person knows they have limits. They budget out of necessity. They say no automatically. But the $90,000 person? They say yes. To the apartment upgrade, to the car lease, to the monthly subscriptions they forget to cancel, to the weekend trips that feel affordable because they have a good job. The trap is not poverty. The trap is the illusion of abundance. Your bills keep rising. Your lifestyle keeps rising. But your actual wealth, the number that matters, stays flat or falls. Okay, real talk. Unpopular opinion time. Most financial advice in America is useless for middle-income earners. There, I said it. Cut your lattes. Make a budget. Track every dollar. This advice sounds good. It does nothing. It treats a structural problem like a discipline problem. It blames you for a system that is specifically designed to take your money faster than you can earn it. You are not undisciplined. You are outgunned. The average American household now carries over $10,000 in credit card debt. Interest rates on those cards are above 20%. You are paying the credit card company $2,000 a year just to stand still. That is $2,000 that never buys you food, safety, or time. It just disappears, and the economy is not helping. Since 2020, the cost of housing in most U.S. cities has gone up between 30 and 50%. Groceries are up, car insurance is up, healthcare is up, but your salary? Maybe went up 4%, maybe 6% if you pushed hard for a raise. You are running on a treadmill that is speeding up. And here is what that actually costs you. Not just in money, but in life. Derek was not just stressed about $312. He had been working since he was 22. He was now 34. That is 12 years of working hard. And he had $312 in his account and $14,000 in credit card debt and a car payment and a student loan that still had 9 years left on it. 12 years gone. He had no investments, no emergency fund. One missed paycheck away from a real crisis. And he was making $90,000 a year. If that does not make you angry, I do not know what will. But here is what made me pause. What made me question everything I thought I knew about personal finance. I used to think the solution was simple. Earn more, save more, done. And honestly, most financial advice, including things I have said before, misses the real problem completely. Because the real issue is not how much you make. It is the invisible system that controls where that money goes before you ever get a real choice. There are forces working against you that most people never name. Force 1, subscription creep. The average American now pays for 12 subscription services. Most people think they pay for 4 or 5. Netflix, Spotify, maybe a gym, but add it up. Amazon Prime, Hulu, Apple iCloud, that app you downloaded 2 years ago. The meal kit delivery you paused but forgot to cancel. Studies show Americans underestimate their monthly subscriptions by over $130 every single month. That is $1,560 a year, vanished into the digital air. Force 2, debt gravity. This one is brutal. Once you have credit card debt, it pulls everything toward it. You pay the minimum. You feel okay, but the interest compounds, and every dollar you try to save is secretly being canceled out by the debt growing in the background. You are filling a bucket with a hole in it. Force 3, the identity tax. This one is the one nobody mentions. When you earn $90,000, you are expected to look like someone who earns $90,000. Nice car, decent apartment, dinners out, clothes for the job, gifts for the holidays. Vacations because you deserve it. And the terrifying thing is, you do deserve it. But the cost of performing your income level is eating your future alive. Derek kept a hoodie on 3 days in a row that week. He was not going anywhere. He was hiding from his friends, from social media, from the version of himself that should have his act together by now. That feeling, that specific shame, that is the identity tax collecting its dues. And there is one more force, a hidden one. And this connects directly to the Buffett rule I mentioned at the start. Most people think Warren Buffett's secret is about investing, about picking stocks, about compound interest. And yes, those things matter. But there is one rule, one simple, brutal, overlooked rule that Buffett has repeated for decades, and almost no one applies it to their actual life. I am going to give it to you in part 2. And when you hear it, and hear how Derek used it, you will understand why everything before it was just noise. Because right now, Derek still has $312. He is still scared, and the light is still flickering. But something is about to change. Derek did not sleep that night. He sat there going through his bank statements, line by line, for the first time in maybe 3 years. And what he found was not surprising. It was worse than surprising. It was invisible. He was not blowing money on crazy things. There was no single villain, no giant wasteful purchase he could point to and fix. It was death by 1,000 small, reasonable decisions. The $14 parking app that auto-renewed. The upgraded phone plan he switched to 18 months ago. The DoorDash orders that added up to $340 last month. The credit card minimum payments. The gym membership at the nice gym near work because he told himself he would actually go this time. Individually, all forgivable, all reasonable. Together, a financial slow bleed. He made $90,000. He was living like someone who made $120,000. And he was building zero wealth, zero cushion, zero future. This is where most videos tell you to cut things, make a spreadsheet, use a budgeting app. I am going to tell you the opposite. Budgeting apps do not fix this problem. I know that is not what you expected to hear, but it is true. Apps track your spending after it happens. They measure the wound. They do not stop it. Most people who download a budgeting app feel motivated for 2 weeks and then feel guilty for 6 months while the app collects dust. Awareness alone is not a system. What you need is a system that works before you spend, not after. And this is exactly where Warren Buffett's rule comes in. Buffett has said it in different ways over the years, but the version that hits hardest, the one that should be taught in every high school in America, is this: do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. That is it. That is the rule. 11 words. And I know what you are thinking. I have heard that before. I know about paying yourself first. But here is the thing. You heard it. You did not feel it. You did not build it into your life in a way that actually worked. Because if you had, you would not be watching this video right now. So let me make this real. Derek heard this rule that night. Not for the first time, but for the first time, he understood the mechanism behind it. The rule is not about discipline. It is about sequence. When your paycheck hits your account and everything is sitting in one place, your brain treats all of it as spendable. That is just how human psychology works. Seeing money triggers spending decisions every time. It is not weakness. It is neuroscience. But when money is moved, automatically, immediately, before you ever touch it, your brain recalibrates. It treats what is left as the total. You adapt to the smaller number. Lifestyle creep cannot infect money it cannot see. This is not motivation. This is architecture. Here is what Derek did. 4 steps, starting that same week. Step 1. He opened a second bank account. Not at the same bank. Somewhere slightly inconvenient. Not a savings account that shows up next to his checking. A completely separate account with a different login. Friction is the point. Out of sight means out of mind. He automated a transfer of $500 every payday to that account. Not $500 because it is the magic number. $500 because it was something. It was proof the system could work. Step 2. He did a subscription audit. Not a full budget overhaul, just subscriptions. Spent 25 minutes, found $94 a month in services he had either forgotten about or barely used. Canceled them that night. The Spotify stayed. The obscure fitness app from 2022? Gone. That $94 went straight to the separate account too. Step 3. He attacked one debt, not all of them, one. The smallest credit card balance. $1,800 at 24% interest. He put an extra $200 a month toward it, just that one. Dave Ramsey calls this the snowball method. It works not because of the math, but because of the psychology. Paying off a debt completely gives you a win, a real, tangible, finished win. And that win generates momentum that no spreadsheet can manufacture. Step 4, and this is the one most people skip. He raised his 401k contribution by just 2%, not 10, not the maximum. 2. If your employer matches contributions and you are not getting the full match, you are leaving free money on the table every single month. That is not a metaphor. That is literally your employer handing you money and you walking past it. 2% more, often less than $50 per paycheck after the tax break, but compounded over 20 years, potentially life-changing. Derek did not transform overnight. 6 months later, he had $4,200 in his separate account. He had paid off that first credit card. His hands did not shake when he opened his banking app anymore. He still had work to do. The student loans, the car payment, the bigger savings goal. But he had something he did not have before. A system, not motivation. A system. Because here is the uncomfortable truth about motivation. Motivation is weather. It comes and goes. It feels amazing on Monday. It disappears by Wednesday. Building your financial life on motivation is like building a house on sand. It looks fine until the storm hits. Systems are concrete. Systems run even when you are tired, even when you had a terrible week, even when inflation made the grocery bill $40 higher than last month. The automated transfer runs on Tuesday morning, whether you are feeling inspired or not. This is what Buffett actually built. Not just a portfolio, a system, a set of rules that ran automatically, that did not rely on him making perfect decisions every single day. He made the right structural decisions once, and then let time do the rest. You have to do the same thing. Now, not next month, not after the holidays, not when things calm down. They never calm down. Think about what 1 year of inaction actually costs you. If you are 30 years old and you delay building a basic savings habit by just 1 year, that lost year of compounding could cost you $30,000 to $50,000 by the time you retire. Not because you spent that money, because you delayed the time the money had to grow. Time is the one thing you cannot earn back. Derek is 34. He wasted 12 years. He does not get those back. But he stopped the bleeding. And every month now, the gap between his income and his actual wealth is closing instead of widening. That is the shift. That is the whole game. You might be watching this and thinking, I make less than $90,000. This still applies to you. Or you make more. This still applies to you. Because the trap is not income specific. The trap is behavioral. The trap is the invisible architecture of how money moves through your life. Change the architecture, change the outcome. Start with one step today. Just one. Open a second account. Cancel 2 subscriptions. Increase your 401k by 1%. Do something that the system will carry forward automatically, so tomorrow's version of you does not have to be stronger or more disciplined than today's version. The feeling of helplessness, that comes from reacting, from watching money leave and not understanding why. The feeling of control, that comes from one small automated decision made before the money disappears. You are not failing because you lack willpower. You are failing because you are fighting the current instead of redirecting it. Derek is doing okay now. He texted a friend recently. They were complaining about feeling broke on $85,000. Derek said, "I know exactly what that feels like. Let me tell you what changed for me. Now you know too." But here is the thing. Fixing the system is only the beginning, because most people who fix their spending, who build the savings account, who kill the subscriptions, who start the 401k, still make one hidden mistake that quietly erases all of it over time. One mistake. Almost nobody talks about it. Do you want to know what it is? Click the next video right now.